Hey everyone, Scott Solari with RealSynch, and welcome back to another episode where I interview one of RealSynch's amazing partners within the space that really help our clients and obviously help the space in general just kind of level up as we continue to support real estate team. I have Elena Kee here from Kee Technology Solutions. Elena, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm super honored that I'm able to do this with you.
Yeah. So, here at RealSync, we obviously have solutions, but not all of them by any means. And so we have a lot of partners that we recommend and prefer and send clients to. So we love interviewing our partners to showcase them in front of our client base, because there may be people out there that go, oh my God, I've been looking for that forever. I need help. Right. And so, today I just wanted to talk a little bit about you, your company, kind of how it started, and then, where you are today, the types of clients maybe you help, or the things that you do for them, and then, maybe what you're seeing as the space kind of continues to evolve. So tell the audience a little bit about, yourself and, how Kee Technology Solutions came to be.
Yeah, so it was definitely not a planned business. It happened very organically. I guess if you wanted to go to the origin story, back whenever I graduated college, I graduated with a music degree and I thought I was going to be a musician. But then I realized that there's not much money in it and I needed to pivot and do something different. So I took on a full-time position as an administrative assistant for one real estate team full-time, and I was entering the real estate space brand new. I ended up working for them for about 6 years and helped them transition from what was previously called Conversion, now known as KV Core, over to Follow Up Boss. And that's whenever I fell in love with the CRM Follow Up Boss, and I worked in it for about 6 years and helped them create their systems and automations from the ground up. I left that role after I had my daughter, thinking I'd be a stay-at-home mom. 10 months in, I realized that wasn't for me. So I started doing virtual assistant work for real estate agents. And then there started being an ask for, I don't have time to tell you what I need. I need someone to tell me what I need in my CRM. So I quickly pivoted and realized, okay, there's a need here, because I couldn't really find anything out there as far as there's companies like you that do integrations and custom work and development. But as far as the CRM creation of workflows and automations, that didn't exist. So I pivoted, and over the course of a few months, I built a setup, a very basic setup from what it is today. And we're in it 2.5 years now, where it just grew organically through word of mouth. And I'm really thankful for the partnership I've had with Follow Boss and the staff of Follow Boss, especially in the success community. So if you use Follow Up Us as your CRM, I definitely recommend joining the Facebook group if you have not. It's a really wonderful community.
Absolutely. It's one of the best communities when it comes to, people trying to just help each other, right? Especially with, around using Follow Up Boss, right? So that's really awesome. And it's nice to hear, because, like, agents don't want to do anything, right? They just want someone to tell them what's the right thing to do. So, when you early on started getting these clients, what are some of the things that you found where you really need to focus and help them as you were, building out their Follow Up Boss system?
Yeah, the biggest hot topic that agents asked for were drip campaigns that actually worked, and Follow Boss that called action plans. So that's where I did my focus primarily first, and that's a big part of what we still do today. And I not every drip campaign is created equal, so I needed to create something that actually produced results and responses and engagement. So I quickly realized that agents, although they put their best efforts forward, they really needed a copywriter to write content for them. The emails were too long. They were using several spam trigger words that were causing their emails to go to promotion folders or spam. They were formatting their emails in a wacky way to where it looked weird. So they really needed something built from the ground up of various action plans, and not just a couple, but the entire life cycle of a lead. And so that's been like 2.5 years in the making, and we're still working full time creating new action plans. There's just so many use cases for the need for automation. So that was my primary focus, was figuring out how do I create an action plan that will actually produce response rates. And if you're curious what the answer is, in short, it's making the content short and simple. People have very short attention spans, especially if they don't know you. If they've just came in through an ad online, they're not going to read a blog post written in an email or read a guide that you're sending them. So keeping it short and simple with plain text with a reply-based question. I'm a huge fan of Phil M. Jones, the author of Exactly What to Say. He's a lot of the inspiration behind the emails. But then I was like, okay, once we built this, it still wasn't helpful because agents weren't actually using their CRM. So they just had these drip campaigns in their CRM, but they weren't being used. So the next problem we needed to solve was figuring out how can we make a CRM built in such a way that agents would actually want to use it and know exactly what to do. So our primary goal is simplicity and keeping things as simple as possible, especially not only for solo agents, but especially for teams and brokerages. If they're trying to create a standard operating procedure and daily expectations for their agents to follow, we need to make it as simple and automated as possible so that when they log into Follow Up Boss, either on their computer or on their phone, it's just simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do this. That's what my focus was. I move on with my day. Because we were finding either agents weren't using their CRM because they just didn't know what to do, or they were overwhelmed by their CRM and their CRM was causing more work than help. So we worked to flip the script and figure out how can we make the CRM work for you and not the other way around.
So I find that really interesting. So what are some of the things that you did to simplify it for agents? Because I know when I look through the lens of some of the agents I've worked with, they get into Follow Up Boss and they go, oh my God, what do I do? There's 8,000 action plans. Should I use any of these? What should I do? So how did you simplify that to where it's like you do 2, 3, 4 things and then you're done?
Yeah. So first was figuring out how we automate those action plans that we provide and making sure the wrong one doesn't send to the wrong person at the wrong time. And that was just as simple
that would ruin the lead. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a big fear agents have is, okay,
right.
I know I need automation, but I also don't want to piss someone off and lose a client.
Right.
So figuring out, okay, we have these drip campaigns, but an agent isn't using them because they don't have the time to remember to manually assign these action plans. So figuring out how do we automate them? So the way we did that is we took a look at, okay, agents are using, still today, they're very heavy task-based by default, whether they're assigning themselves tasks manually or automatically through an action plan and Follow Up Boss or CRMs that says a task on day 1 to call, a task on day 2 to text, a task on day 3, and that just piles on so fast and you have a lot of duplicates. Plus, it's just one very long list of tasks, and that can pile on to 100, 200, 500 overdue tasks very quickly.
Oof.
And one that just hurts your own personal confidence in being able to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
2, you have no way to prioritize who to get through. You're like, okay, I'm going to dedicate just like 30 minutes, but I have 500. How do I prioritize of that 500 who to get through? And I see like Emily here, and then I see her again here, and then I see her again here. There's a lot of duplicate records. So that's what I love so much about Follow Up Boss is, 1, their design is just so clean and simple, and it's to this day still the only CRM I recommend. But 2 is they have a superpower that not a lot of people take advantage of or fully understand, the smart lists. So we set up smart lists that are numbered, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through 10, but we make it a recommendation, just get at least through the first 5. Because the full list of 10 is kind of comparable to that giant list of tasks you had, but now we're just separating it out in priority to say, okay, I don't have time to call through all 500. Let me call through the 50 that are the most important. And so, yeah, we labeled the list: 1, current clients; 2, leads you haven't attempted to call yet. And there's no manual checking off as tasks is done that you have to do. We want to avoid manually, like some CRMs require you to manually click and drag people from one place to another so you don't forget about them. There's none of that. All you need to do is primarily, hopefully, if you're open to it, use the dialer. And as long as you use the dialer and change the stage, then those two actions alone make sure that people are in the right list for prioritization and trigger the correct drip campaign. So there's no guesswork of, like you said, okay, I have like 100 action plans in my account and I have access to all these public action plans as well. Like, which one do I pick? I don't remember what does what. As long
Yeah.
as you change your stage, that's how Follow Up Boss knows, okay, we need to start this action plan now and stop this one.
Got it. So you use triggers for phone calls and or maybe texts, right? Things like that. And then also the stage change. So then you can customize the stage and Follow Up Boss, I forget, right?
Yeah. So we do have recommended stages for you to use just to keep it super simple. We make it like a max of 15, but most of the time it's 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to get granular, that's where tags come in, where you can get as granular as you want in Follow Up Boss, but avoiding creating a stage for every little scenario, because that list will just grow so quickly. And especially since the majority agents are on the go a lot of the times when they're making calls, if they're on the app, they don't have time to scroll through a really long list of stages and figure out, okay, what did this stage mean? Which one do I use? And just waste their time. So keeping the stage list as simple as possible as well.
I love that. This is fantastic. This is so helpful because I know, God, just agents don't want to be doing this stuff, right? And they want it to work because like you said earlier, the fear of it not working puts them in a place where they don't want to do anything then except like call people themselves if they have time. And so they miss out on a ton of business if that's the case, right? So this is solving that problem, which is amazing, So talk to me a little bit more about, some of your, obviously you work with a lot of clients within the Follow Up Boss success community. You have a team now, right? Like you've grown to where it's not you doing all the work, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've slowly transitioned or delegated all of my tasks. But yeah, when I first began, it was just me, and have slowly built a team of, I think is now 10. We just hired our 10th person. 5 of them are full-time, 5 of them are part-time. And it's been a really awesome experience, awesome and scary and stressful and exciting to be an entrepreneur, just like it is to be a real estate agent. So yeah, it's been a really awesome experience.
So how many clients do you think you've helped now in the Follow Up Boss community? Because I feel like it's got to be a lot.
I would say it's around 1,700 clients. So that could be like one team of 100 is one of those 1,700. So that could be solo agents, teams, or brokerages. We've helped.
Right. Yeah, it's really amazing. And so as you go through this process, maybe talk a little bit about like what you're doing to even do more as you work with more teams and clients. Like what are some of the next things that you're trying to help simplify, as you mentioned earlier, for the agents and teams?
Yeah, it's still a really big hot topic today of drip campaigns. So that's something that we're always working on. Just the collaborative nature of the business. There are always these ideas when we get on calls with people like, oh, what if we did an automation with this instead? So we're always doing that, innovating there. But as far as other things we're working on, I am going to be officially publicly launching a CRM setup for lenders and loan officers in Follow Up Boss. There's just a big need for that as well in the lender space, the lending space. And I've seen a big shift too of loan officers starting to use Follow Up Boss. Even though Follow Up Boss was originally designed for real estate agents, a lot of lenders are able to use it. I just got off a call with a company called Leaf 360. They're launching a really cool product to allow real estate agents to communicate with their lenders, and there's potential there of like more collaboration, more deep automation between the two platforms. So really exciting stuff there, but that was just like the first initial conversation. And there's also a need for like I mentioned earlier, real estate agents are really busy. So a lot of times an agent knows they need like, I know you remove a lot of manual tasks, but there's still a lot of manual tasks that need to be done even with integrations. So a lot of agents need to hire a virtual assistant. They know they need one, but they don't know how to train them and they don't know what to expect them to do. So I'm working on a total like training program specifically for your virtual assistant with standard operating procedures, so they can just hit the ground running, specific to Follow Up Boss, so you can offload a lot of tasks that you're doing manually right now. So this is the two biggest things that we're working on right now.
That's awesome. I love that you're moving into the loan and mortgage space, because Follow Up Boss is so customizable now. It makes it a great solution for multiple industries, which is great. So Elena, if someone was like, oh my God, I need help, or my agents are just like lost in this abyss of campaigns that don't work, and they need to figure this out, like what should they do right now if they wanted to get on a call with you and your team?
Yeah, you can go to our website, keetechnology.com. It's spelled KEE technology.com. And at the very top, there's a demo. So if you wanted a more in-depth understanding of what we do, you can certainly watch that. And then from there, you can either schedule a call or just proceed to sign up to work with us. So we try to make that process as simple as possible, but just scroll down a bit if you want to schedule a call. We have a calendar you can schedule on.
Awesome. Elena, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to part ways with or say to the audience before we go?
I would just say embrace technology and don't be afraid of automation. There's lots of new things being innovated. Scott's working on a lot, but just the whole technology space as a whole with artificial intelligence. Embrace it. Don't be scared of it, because the people who do embrace it are the ones that are going to be ahead of the curve and be more successful. So don't be afraid of automation, and just use your CRM.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Elena, and thank you everyone for watching. This has been another episode with Scott at RealSynch. See you soon.
Thanks.